I'm excited to welcome on one of the top girls in 2021 and the most recent Cal commit, and Jayda Curry. What's going on today?
Nothing much. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, now I just said you're the most recent Cal commit. Take us to this decision. What's it feel like to not be committed?
I mean, it's a lot of emotions, excited, relieved, but mainly excited, just knowing where I'm going and getting prepared for what's next.
And you're a part of a 2021 class that no matter what sport you play, it's kind of a chaotic year. I mean, no visits, not being able to play AAU. How have you got accustomed to
Yeah.
this new recruiting year?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely different. I mean, like you said, we're not getting visits or things like that. So, just going with the flow and just kind of going with what we hear and just, moving along. You can't really do anything about it. So, just kind of just going with what happens.
Now, you did narrow it down to your top five: San Diego State, Utah, Washington, ASU, and obviously Cal. And what do you like about the other four schools?
For me, with the other four schools, I mean, with all five of the schools, they were all different in different ways. I think that all of them, what they had in common was their coaching staffs. I really loved all the coaching staffs, and just kind of the programs and what their values were and their morals and things like that. I think they were all kind of on the same lines. But I mean, yeah, they're all great schools, so it was definitely a tough decision.
And you are going to be staying close to home. San Diego State would have been in California. All the schools were kind of West Coast schools. Was staying
Yeah.
semi close to home any kind of importance to you?
At first, when I first started getting recruited, I was saying that location really didn't matter for me. But I think as the process went on, I kind of was like, I really want to stay close to home and stay close to my family, so they could get to games and things like that. So I think it became more important as the process went along for sure.
And so you obviously look at all the schools you have. California is the one you chose. What separated them from the other four?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a lot of things, but I think one of the main things was the academic part of it. I mean, they're ranked very high academically in the world, so I think that was one thing. And then, like I said, I loved all the coaching staffs, but this particular one, I think the head coach being a black female really tapped into that aspect that I really wanted going into college. But like I said, I think one of the main things was really the academic part of it, just them being so highly ranked and so focused on the academics was a really important part for me.
And your coach also not only that, but she also was a player before. She played in the women's
Yeah,
NBA. She played college basketball. She's gone through the path that you're about to go through as well as what you want to do. What was that like, kind of seeing that aspect?
right. I mean, knowing that she's played and she's coached at very high levels, it just kind of made me feel more connected to her because that's what I want to play at a high level. I want to go to the WNBA, play overseas, and all that. So I feel like working with her would really help me to reach those goals. So.
And kind of in your early talks now, I mean, obviously you haven't played for her yet. What does she kind of see herself? What does she kind of expect for you throughout your career out there?
Yeah. I mean, coming in, obviously, just to be, of course, as a freshman, you're going to make mistakes and things like that, but really contributing to the team as a freshman and throughout the 4 years that I'm there, being a scorer, a point guard, facilitating, things like that. So.
And you'll be playing the Pac-12, which is one of the best, not the best conference for girls basketball. You have so many powerhouse schools in that conference. How excited are you to go out there and compete against them?
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I think that was another reason why I picked that school because they're in the Pac-12 and it's so highly competitive. I'm a very competitive person, so I really wanted to be able to play in and play with very competitive people. And I mean, I know a lot of girls that are already in the Pac-12 that'll still be there while I'm there, so definitely will want to play against them, and I'm just definitely excited for that part of it.
When you look at all the schools in the Pac-12, what's the school you're most excited to go up against?
Ooh, most excited. Um, I would say UCLA probably would be one of them for sure. I mean, going against all of them is definitely exciting, but UCLA is one of them definitely.
For sure. And how about are there any girls you know that you're excited to go up against and play against?
Shoot, I mean, Charisma Osborne, she goes to UCLA. Taylor Bigsby, she's going to be going to Oregon when I in my year. Shoot, there's a lot of people that'll be up there. Those are two that the top, but a lot of my friends and things like that. So it'll definitely be exciting.
Absolutely. And So now you obviously have a year to get out to campus. What are you looking to improve on or add to your game before you get out there?
Really for me, it's not even the skill aspect. I think the strength aspect, because college, the strength is just a whole different level. The speed, the strength is what I've been hearing is the hardest thing to adjust to. So I think staying in the weight room and just getting stronger physically is going to be really important for me.
And part of the reason a lot of people say you might not be regarded as one of the top players is because of the height aspect. But number wise and award wise, you are right up there with anyone out there. How have you kind of put that as a chip on your shoulder by just kind of having people look down on you because of the height size?
Yeah, I mean I've always had that chip on soldier, like you're saying, that height wise, I'm not the tallest, point guard or the tallest shooting guard. So I just use that really for me as motivation to really get better and do the little things that maybe taller guards aren't going to do just to put me over the top. So
And how have you learned to adjust to that? I mean, you obviously put up, like I said, incredible numbers. You're All American, Max Preps. You win all these awards. How have you been able to play at your height and do what you do?
yeah, it just takes a lot of skill, I think, is what it is. You got to learn how to play with bigger guards and play with bigger shoot posts, even learning how to use your floater, shoot certain ways to get it over certain people. So it's just practice, getting in the gym and really working on playing against and scoring on bigger defenders and things like that.
You personally now, when did it kind of click that you knew Cal was going to be the school you wanted to attend?
Um, Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, there wasn't like a certain date. If I'm being honest, I kind of felt when I first started talking to them, just the vibe from their assistant coaches and things like that, that kind of made me feel like I think I could really see myself going here. But I mean, once I picked my top five and I really like just looked over the information and everything, that's kind of when it clicked.
And they have an incredible 2020 class. Four people, obviously in the top 100, six were recruits. Do you have a relationship with any of them?
Yeah, Michelle actually. And shoot, yeah, Michelle. She lives out here in Riverside, so that's probably the one I'm closest to. I played against a couple of the other girls, but yeah. So I've talked to her a lot about the school and things like that.
That's awesome. Let's talk about your high school season. 20-6 record. You obviously put together another great year. Take us through the ups and downs of your junior season.
Yeah. There were definitely. I think this year there was a lot more ups than there were downs. The losses that we took, they weren't big losses. We never got blown out or anything like that, but they were tough losses. But I think it was a great season. It was the first year that we were in the open division and went that far in the open division. So I think overall, it was a great year for our coaches and for our team, and a great year, junior year for me. So
And you've led your team in scoring since your freshman season. This past year, though, you averaged almost 23 a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, couple steals. What's the next jump for you? What do you think you're capable of averaging next season?
man, if I'm being honest, I don't know, the exact numbers and things like that. I mean, we have a new transfer coming on too, London Jones. She transferred to our school. So, and she averaged about 25, 30 at her school. So, for me, it's not even about the scoring. My main goal, if or when we do have a season, is get a CIF ring, get a state ring. So, whatever I need to do, whatever scoring I need to do, passing, all of that, that's what I'm gonna do. So.
What's coach kind of talking to you guys about? When do you guys think you guys can start practicing again, start getting ready for the season?
Yeah, so we don't know actually when practice is gonna come along, but we do know they pushed back our season all the way until around March, I think it was. So for practice wise, we have no idea how that's gonna work. We're all doing online school now, so not sure how that's gonna work yet.
Gotcha. And you are in California, an incredible state for just overall basketball. What's it like being part of California?
Man, it's awesome. I mean, the competitiveness out here, it's always, up there. We had before the whole COVID kind of shut down our gyms. We were having open runs and had a lot of the top elite guards and post players out here, just playing, and it was great competition. About 25 girls every time. So, it's always good to have great competition to play against.
And out of all that talent, you came away winning Press Enterprise Player of the Year, your Max Press All-American Honorable Mention. What did it feel like just to get those awards?
It was good. It everything for me. It's motivation to work harder and to keep getting better and keep getting better. So it was definitely great to get those awards, but just lit more fire for me. So
And there is one game I want to touch up on from last year. That is when you broke the scoring record, 43 points versus Windward. Take us through that game. What was it like just leading up to that game? Was there anything different that day?
honestly, nothing was different until the game started. I mean, I realized that I wasn't my shot was on that game. So and my teammates were right behind me, just feeding me the ball and things like that. So kudos to my team for sure for that. But it nothing was different. Like routine was the same, everything like that. But it was just one of those days. So
Was that the hottest you've ever been at a game?
um, probably I would say all around shooting wise, there's probably been different games where I've been hot shooting wise, but I mean just making layups, free throws, defensive wise, everything. So
And would you say that's probably your favorite game of the last season, or what would you say is your favorite game?
actually, my favorite game was probably the second time we played Long Beach Poly, our double overtime game. It was just a lot of energy, and it really took our whole team to come together to win that game, and just a good camaraderie type game. That was probably my favorite one for sure.
You mentioned the academic aspect as a big reason why you also chose Cal. You have a 4.5 GPA. Who kind of established the want and kind of the priority for academics in you?
Definitely my parents. I would say more so. Well, I can't more so my mom, but both my mom and my dad. They kind of at an early age instilled that, like really pushing us to get straight A's and to really work as hard as in the classroom as we would on the court. So,
And as I mentioned, you have one more year left. Hopefully, you guys get to play. What are your overall goals for next season?
like I said earlier, I think the main goal for me is to get a ring. For the 3 years I've been here, we have yet to get a CIF or like a state ring. So that's definitely my main goal this year.
Are there any personal goals you kind of want, like McDonald's All American, any of those?
Yeah, personally, yeah, definitely McDonald's All American, Jordan Brand Classic, all of those things. Definitely a personal goal for me.
Without a doubt. We don't know what's going to happen with AAU. You were going to go over to EYBL for this season, though. Why did you decide
Yeah,
to choose that to go out and play with West Coast Premier?
right. So I played with West Coast Premier 2 years, 2 years ago, and then I went to UAA and then went back. But I think I mean, there are a couple of reasons going into it, but one of the reasons, my sister, my younger sister, it was a better opportunity for her over there. And then another reason was just to kind of finish it out on the EYBL circuit. I wanted to play with that competition, and finish it out on that circuit.
And having a family with other athletes in it, what's it been like growing up with that?
Yeah, it's been like I said, the competitiveness. I think that's really where it started with both of us playing basketball when I was 4 and she was 3. So it's always been competitive, just winning at everything besides basketball. I mean, like who can finish their homework first, or who can finish reading this book first, things like that. So I think it's definitely been a blessing for sure, and just makes us work harder.
That's awesome. And a few more things before I let you go. One is ultimately, I can imagine you want to build a legacy for yourself, both what you achieve on the court and off of it. By the time you walk away from the game someday, what do you want your legacy to be?
Um, I just want to be somebody that inspired people, inspired young girls, and young women to really just chase after their dreams, and just because of setbacks like your height and things like that, to inspire them to think that they can do whatever they want regardless of what other people might say about them.
That's awesome. And I know you're also a believer. Can you talk about your faith? How has God helped get you to the point you're at today?
Yeah, I mean, he is responsible for everything for sure. I mean, it definitely started with my parents, like I said, with them instilling that at an early age, really making God the light of your life and just letting him kind of drive you in the right direction. I mean, with this whole decision making, just praying and things like that really helped me get through this whole process. But he's definitely the reason where I am today.
And a lot of people aren't always outspoken about it. And you obviously had your verse in the bio. Kind of talk to us about that verse and why it means a lot to you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in this day and age too, there's a lot of people that that are cocky and things like that, especially with social media. Just when you get posted, they kind of feed into the hype and things like that. And for me, it's really about staying humble and letting God's light shine through me. And like the verse said, that God opposes the proud but shows favor to the humble. So as long as you stay humble, the more blessings that will come your way, and the more that you can share your story with other people.
Amen. Last thing before I let you go is for your overall Cal career, what's your three biggest goals you want to achieve throughout your career there?
Yeah, I mean, same goes for high school too. Getting a ring definitely is one of them.
Mhm.
Um, Building relationships, I think, is an important thing for me, both on and off the court, and outside of the school. Building like relationships, like as far as internships and things like that. Um, and man, I mean, the ring thing, that's really an important thing for me. Get wins and be competitive and just learn a lot.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations once again on that commitment. I appreciate you taking time to come on. Of
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
course, you're always welcome on. God bless.
God bless you. Thank you.